which is actually kind of neat. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, when we left off, I think we're about to go to another part of the city. I did a little tiny bit off stream just because I like to take time to get more comfortable with the game. Like without, streaming, just so I can kind of focus and poke at things. And so I did knock down the corpse. And so I think at this point, what is going to happen is, I guess I'm going to go and, oh yeah, I got to go. Okay. Yeah. Deal with union boss people. So that's pretty wild. Oh, okay. Field autopsy. Tattoos, possible meanings. Oh, Kim. Okay. May I ask Kim about Kim? What are we doing here again?
Yes.
Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
I mean, could it be sexy?
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was a...
Are you sure there isn't a sex angle?
Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder rites. We'll get on it immediately.
All right, good.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Yeah, it can just be sex murder.
That's commendable. Was there anything else?
Only got to just go for a brief moment. Excited for Meridia. Yeah, no, I'm having a fun time with this. Glad you're able to stop by for a little bit, although, of course, if you gotta get up, you gotta get up. Understandable.
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
Okay. Why are we on the same case if we're from different
I'm afraid
precincts?
you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Cop off.
It's just stupidity.
Tell me.
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Oh, so this is a struggle over who runs the city.
Sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary, somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kills.
Yeah.
The rows are endless.
Look for 41.
Jean Vicmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness.
So, yeah, wait, did he really volunteer to spoil it? Also, yeah, what does that say about me?
Yes, I am an unrepentant spoil sport.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Well, technically, the official record keeper has been known to double count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precinct stats.
102 is pathetic. A small number.
I wouldn't say that. My caseload is measly, but that's beside the point. I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made this scene into a circus.
So what's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
Why was I sent here?
It's all part of the master plan, you see.
I sent to teach a lesson in style. I'm a case-solving machine sent to outperform you. I must be already an apocalyptic omen sent by my people. I probably have an unbelievable kill count. I like being an apocalyptic omen.
No.
There will be a bloodletting of unimaginable proportions.
Oh no, it's very imaginable. We fail to place responsibility for the hanging. The harbor company see the situation is out of control, so they bring in private military, maybe a gunship. The Union responds in strength, automatic fire. Local law enforcement solving one little homicide decides nothing. Not solving it can have real and calculable effects. Things can always get worse. Matter of fact, augury, we should move. Yes, it's a wholly
All right, there you
pointless
go.
matter.
Secret task
Forget I
complete.
ever mentioned it.
Look at you.
Yes.
It's because you're a failure.
Ah!
They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
What if my precinct sent me as a joke?
I've considered it.
But it's not true, right?
I don't think I can say one way or another. I do think it's somewhat unlikely, though. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Aha, so you are their
I am the
finest.
finest of nothing. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
My morale is healed. All right. We got 8% chance, but we got to go for it.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul.
No.
One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
All right. Well, we wrapped up that task. Mission accomplished there. Wait, I thought we... Oh, the pissing competition. Okay. So that was completed. Oh, do we have more to ask him about the case, though? It says it's still active.
Tremble. The time is now.
Yeah, what time?
Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
Wait, when did it begin?
Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
I do think the world might end soon.
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
All right, cool. That seemed responsible to do.
Yes?
All right. Do we have anything else to get it out of him about the
What
case?
do you want to know?
Yeah, I can't remember a single thing.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed.
Oh yeah, the
Now I
brief.
remember.
Okay.
3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Who's the victim?
A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Well, that's ominous.
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
So is our job to find the killer?
That's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Good.
All right. Task accomplished. Oh yeah, we can go run the number on the... Okay. Oh yeah, let's talk to Kuno again. We might as well. Kuno.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Yeah, the gardener said you're full of shit, kid.
Pig, do you have any idea how fucking stupid that sounds? Kuno's cruising his bitch on the town, and the bitch comes back griefing to the Kuno. What is up with that?
Ow.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat
Uh-oh.
on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once
Wow,
had as a
Kuno
police
just
officer,
murdered me.
it's eating them all up now. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Yeah, no one even likes cops.
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receiving end of so much distrust and outright hatred.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a
Wow,
nervous
Kuno
breakdown.
just murdered me.
He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. "It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while," Satellite Officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Matt Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying, "Whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all."
Interesting. So I was curious what if there were if there was actually game over situations here, and there kind of was. Wild. Oh man. Okay. So I guess I actually did lose progress. I'm less happy now. All right. Well, I guess I just had to speed through a bunch of this stuff.
What do you want to know? I'm afraid you.
All right. Yeah.
you
Pissing
don't know.
contest.
Better still than an
Blah, blah,
It's
blah.
just the cop kind. Well, I think the dispatch desk just told.
So, somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are 2 columns.
Yes. I'm an. Well, take.
A common accounting.
I'm good enough for this case, Martinez. Nothing.
It's all part of the master plan, you see.
No. Oh no, it's very local law enforcement solving one lead.
The rows are Jean-Vic Mayer, Judith Minot.
All right.
Yes, it's a holy.
Secret task
pointless matter.
complete. Cool. Tell me about the
What do you
case.
want to know?
Yeah, I mean, I just haven't looked it up yet. I mean, I guess now I will. now that I know it actually matters. Did I? Huh? I'm pretty sure this should be. Was it Watch Dogs? Did I mess the schedule up? No, Tuesday. Disco Elysium. It is Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday. Okay.
Ah, yes. 3 days ago, during that time, a security they didn't.
All right,
identify
we're
who
almost
has a
caught up
strong
here.
Prejudice against involving DRC. That's right.
All right, got all I need. Cool. Let's find out what the quick save. Well, there's a quick save there. Oh, here we go. F5. Looks like F5. F5.
Tremble. The time.
Oh yeah, this too.
Show. Yes. The face of.
Cool. Well, let's not talk to the kid about that one thing.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it?
Yeah, where's the rest of his armor, kid?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant.
Look at him.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
What do you mean threw it away, kid?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style.
You
that
threw it
shit means nothing
in
to
the
Kuno.
sea?
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cock in boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows? So yeah, he's the one you wanna talk to.
Oh,
He's fucking
alright.
crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
Alright.
Curious, my liege.
Out of the
Why did
yeah.
Kuno feed you this information?
kindness of your heart?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy.
Yo,
Or
did you
You may be paranoid.
do that?
That
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. I want to make you stupid again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're stupid.
Get the fuck out of here calling Kuno stupid. Pigs come to Kuno for guidance, then say he's stupid. The fuck is up with that?
They're lost without you, Kuno. They need you. You're in control of this.
Why don't you figure your shit out yourself before you come to Detective Kuno for help?
Maybe we should.
You're testing.
Get lost.
Alright. Figure out what's going on with this kid. Nope. I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
See you later. All right, cool. So, yeah, interviews. Ask around about tattoos. Get the boots off the victim's feet. Yeah, can't do that while Kim is around. Oh yeah, we can use Kim's shortwave to run the numbers.
inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
You want a serial number from Armored Boots?
Sir, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isoleri law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
Press the button labeled saved.
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you're listening to Street Freaks FM. bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most vulgar.
A flock of seagulls takes off near,
Ah!
startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right?
Pick up the radio. Speed Freaks FM, huh?
Oh, is that what it was called?
Ah!
go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy. For the heavier foot and the freakier.
God damn it. Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak or...
What about heavy of foot?
You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's quit joking around, alright? We have a case to investigate.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone?
No, I think I'm done.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Alright, cool. Cool. What else we got going on here? Alright, so yeah, call back in a day. Go to the harbor gates. Crashes, information, ask around. Alright, I think a lot of these are just sort of things I'm just gonna ask around about or like find stuff or whatever. Okay, yeah, so we gotta head towards the harbor, I'm pretty sure. Wherever that is. I don't know where that is. We'll figure it out.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
I wonder if it's this way. Oh, who are you?
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
I'm the law.
You sure are, my man.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You could almost taste it.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
How long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words.
Yo, I dig your style, man.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
You know anything about that dead man?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Busy with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Ask for his conclusion.
And your conclusion?
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Can you give me money?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. The bosses, man.
That sounds like a good arrangement for the bosses.
Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had, say, 4 myself. It's like Whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe I should go on strike.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get shot. Why not?
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother.
I don't know my mother, but I'd go on strike against her too.
Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal
Oh,
firearms,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Good stuff.
Relax. He's merely joking.
I've always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
Ooh, found A6 you got there?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Don't be a stranger.
Cool. Oh, this is not? Oh, okay. Oh, horseback monument. Who diff? A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Philippe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippine kings of Revachol.
As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Maybe it's connected to the murder.
If we connect every bullet hole in Martinez to the murder, we'll get an overwhelming amount of loose threads. But then again, we don't really know what we are dealing with here, so I've made a note. Don't hold your breath.
Yes.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
What did he spend it on?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
No wonder everything went to shit.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
He was addicted to nose candy.
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. Cocaine. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn of the century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
People in Martinez tend to agree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this art mystery will be solved at a later time. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either.
Cool. Autosave. White tank top. Hell yeah. I'm doing okay. Wait, why is this a historic day? It is the 10th of August.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radar.
Messi signed with PSG.
There is a warm smile on
Messi,
her face.
that's a soccer player, right? What's PSG though? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a sniper rifle. Oh, really? The French have football team? Have soccer teams? Huh. I thought they gave up playing soccer like 20 years ago. I don't know. I feel like I never hear people talk. I feel like when I hear people talk about soccer teams, they talk about either some of the British ones or like some of the Spanish ones. Yeah, I guess Fretzel brings up a good point here though. Finally, I mean, here's the thing. Andrew Cuomo sucks ass. But this is like a great example of, does removing this leader who truly sucks ass, is that going to change the state of things in the state of New York? I don't know. You know, because obviously there was a whole system of corruption in place. We'll see. I'd like to see things turn around for New York, but I don't know. There's definitely some people who I saw, like some old college acquaintances, and this isn't surprising, right? Because I went to university in the state of New York, and there were definitely some people who, especially during that period, I don't know to what extent this was seen widely and broadly, but there was a brief period where Andrew Cuomo got a lot of positive PR for his handling of the COVID pandemic in like the first year, which was absurd on its face because like clearly he screwed it up like everyone else in America screwed it up. It's just, and like, so it's weird. I don't know. But like, hopefully all those people can shut up now.
The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile.
Snap my fingers.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
All right, fine, dog.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Oh, what? Yo, I'm the law.
Yes. People get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that might be a good point where it's like, even the things that were done right were done late and at a very high cost. And I like, but wasn't a lot of like the worst stuff too, like the revelations that, that they had underreported, like nursing home deaths, stuff like that. Like there was still a lot of massaging of PR. Like he demanded credit. Like the way those press conferences were staged and all that, it's like he really wanted to be praised for doing the bare minimum. How am I enjoying Disco Elysium? It's pretty good. I would say this is definitely my ideal ISO experience, my ISO RPG experience, where it's just like a lot of art and talking.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
This guy is an asshole.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Well, should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
All right, then yes.
Ha! Couldn't handle us. A cause gives the workers strength, gives them power.
We have a right to...
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side.
Yeah, I don't think I've chosen any
Builds
sides yet, buddy.
confidence. Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups.
I don't
which
like
are
this-
essentially still
this-
workers.
Can I just shoot this man?
I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the...
right to...
All right,
Maybe you
shut
should
up.
Ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Yeah, who are all these strikebreakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate.
I got. Okay.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market.
So what's your goal here, buddy?
Rules of the economy.
Okay,
If
shut
we
the
were
fuck up.
promised work, we'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Okay, the mess guy is by the... Okay.
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind
Hey,
him.
why don't you just do it?
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Why don't you just storm the gates?
Why don't you go arrest them instead?
Oh, yeah, they look
Sure
like
they've
criminals
done
to
plenty
you.
of criminal
Uh-huh.
Shit.
Uh-huh.
They have that look.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No. They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Yeah, so I need to speak with the union boss.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Why you want to meet that fat?
I'm trying to solve a murder.
I know nothing about a murder.
Oh.
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup.
Nah, sorry.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let's
Alright, enough of that guy. We'll feed him to a blender yet. Money!
Welcome.
Oh, racist lorry driver. Why are you addressing my partner like that, please? Go away.
Don't you welcome to Revacholmi. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
What's going on? Limbo?
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra White.
Yeah, is this racist mug yours?
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah,
Look at
of course
that
he loves it.
go. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples?
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
I think we're done. Magnesium? Oh yeah, morale boosting items. Oh, what's in here? Yellow roses. Oh, this is the I think this is the apothecary shop or whatever,
The
right?
tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine.
Well, okay, but what is it?
It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money.
Ah.
Cool. Let's do this swindle. This tear swindle.
How do I pick up tear for the tear
You
machine?
need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there somewhere.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo. Their logo is the bloodless rose, pure white,
What is a bag?
untouched by harm.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
What do they do?
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. No. Sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything. Saint Baptiste. You know, the pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least. A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. Your knees are weak. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Just take it in.
The beauty, the truth, the poetry of it all.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that. The pale age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong.
What's pale?
You know.
What will consuming this stuff do for my body?
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
Just give me some wine.
Here you go, mister.
Nice. Hooray! Oh, it reduces morale. Interesting. Oh, what am I doing with thoughts right now? Okay, I'm still. Oh, that's right. Long way home. That's still okay. Still figuring that out. Cool.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it.
Famous people?
It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
What is this fashion police feature?
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
Am I the most stylish?
No, I don't think so.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Alright.
Okay.
What
I'm not
about
really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but I don't really know anything.
You know
I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so not really. No, I didn't know him at all. I don't know really long. I don't know.
No need to worry.
Yeah, I mean, sadness is definitely a way of life in this game.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I still have not been able to accurately predict like how things get classified here. Like, it's certainly some of it is just functional, I think, but can I put the no, that's too sad. I can't do that. +1 physical instrument. Work it. All right. Maybe later. I'll keep it in mind for if I need to upgrade my physical instrument score, I suppose.
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though.
Not a scab.
It's got something to
I'm
do
a
with
cop.
the flask he reaches for from time to time.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money."
Psst. Show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
Yo, I'm actually a worker like you guys.
The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic, then at you, then back at the card, then at you again.
But that's not you, officer.
It's an old picture.
From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago John?
Yes.
Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember? How did you get his shift card?
Now you're in a mess. The time hath not arrived. Sorry.
It was a sign.
Yes, the city has a way of pairing souls. John's been out drinking himself blind. He should be more careful, that Johannes. Can I have the card?
No, it will prove useful still. Leave your thieving fingers.
Card's evidence.
Oh. Is my friend in some sort of trouble?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew?
Hey, you're the man in boots at the gates.
The little boy had the good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me.
Yeah, okay, so that follows.
Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there.
I mean, I did have a game over through loss of morale, so. Kuno said something to me and I just fell over and quit being a cop.
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
Ooh, how does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
I'm gonna find all of it.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, but okay. Let's find all of it.
It's implied he finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
A mesquite epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
You got some money for me?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin now
No!
your outstretched fingers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi picks up the coin and hands it to you.
I almost had a heart attack.
I'm really sorry, friend. Fritz nearby. Get some Nosafed. Good stuff. Helps against heart attacks, too. Oh. Good, good. What matters do you want to discuss with Everard?
Well, I gotta figure out this killing.
Everard's got a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, eh? Doesn't often dole it out, though. But sure, why not? I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Measurehead?
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
So you're saying it's actually quite difficult.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation, or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has anyone ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Sure.
So what is the strike about?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you now.
Alright, well, I guess we might as well go talk to the guy. In case of a strike, press button behind guard. Alright, well, quick save. Let me just walk past you. No.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Okay. Say nothing.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It
must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Say nothing.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity? Merely standing.
No.
You sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise. Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
Alright, whatever. My body's unimportant.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Kim, it's not that bad, is it?
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk, and drowned.
Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. Let me enter the harbor.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the Am Sandwich race is waning. Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Yeah, you're just that fat racist.
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft.
What is this man doing here?
Gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
I just need you to move a little bit.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by bring your troops to the Seminine.
All right. Whatever.
Walls will be lined with bottles of
Okay, great.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshached's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean?
Well, yes. Why? Don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You can be anything.
Well, it's disco time.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
No, I did one stream of this last Wednesday. So this is the second stream.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailorite.
a polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. There are 3 categories.
Oh my god.
Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile. I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does. You need...
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it just won't make any sense.
He's got some issues. Clothing is difficult.
Nonsensical.
Those are the Simones, the Areopagi, and
All
you
right.
see the genetic pool has led the mound.
There is a you know what? I almost appreciate that they're dragging you through the mud on this for just trying to talk your way through this.
Little green tassels on their hats. You know them by the names of their nation states.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotvaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more like in some municipalities of Oranje. People do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
The mound are proof that you can have too much Occidental.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient, the other large Mondial civilization, overproduction.
All right, come on. I'm done with this conversation.
Occidental type, the Areopagi, the latter is type B.
The Khoikhos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call what?
Yes. To one on pinkness is
all right, whatever, go away.
TB1 for ethnostates.
The Vasholians.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history?
What was the revolution?
Idea of what is happening, but that.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad in Zaraz ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness. The revolution is fatal. Enough of Tibet. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments, and it would be cruel.
Alright.
You understand nothing.
Will you let me into the harbor?
Enigma. We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way.
Yeah, you know what? I'm done with
Lost,
this.
Though I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Looks at you, silent and unmoving. His eyes burrow into the remnants of your soul.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you.
Do you know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at
this your kind of thing?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it.
Oh, don't be vulgar. White or not has got.
Yeah, but you still serve him.
Claire is a man of vision and means. He also, to serve, is noble.
Yeah, communism is pretty cool, dog.
Idiotic communism is the single greatest country. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you...
I got it from... Yeah, I got my love of communism from disco.
Offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much.
All right, can we enter the harbor now?
What you need is to come to terms with extinction, and racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, It is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. Its large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, its earlobes could be small.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
You know what? Let's
We
just
still
never
need to
talk
get
to him
into the
again.
harbor. There's an interview.
Try the jump. Up there on the roof.
Yeah. Let's go try the jump. That was a mistake. Never talking to that man again. We're going back to the jump. Nope, nope. All right, where are we right now? Oh, we got an upgrade. We got points. God, I do love savoir-faire. Oh, what?
A Stars Riker, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie.
Who drives?
Not many people outside of Grad. And Revachol West, too, it appears.
A Stash Raiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
Hey, do I know what happened last time?
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue. The colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zhimsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white. The colors of the Stars Raiko.
That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested the trial, flying the colors. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
What they sentence the killers to?
4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Could it be another Stajraiko murder? Honestly, that just doesn't seem like the type of vehicle our dead guy would drive. So my initial guess is the two are not related. Yes, detective?
You know, it would be better. It is better.
Okay.
Brown black.
I'm not going to honor kill anyone over this. But I've seen it blue and white. It's much better that way.
Okay. All right. So where are we? Final armor pieces. This might take a while, a long while. Oh, that's right. Wherever the Wild Pines rep is. But we're gonna go jump off the roof because that's responsible. Okay. However I got through those boxes before is a mystery, and we'll just walk around the other way. What was oh, that's right. I got through the secret passage or whatever. That's how I got onto the roof. All right. Oh yeah, now we have to navigate this whole thing going up here. All right, come on. Do it. Do the jump.
Falling cloak with possible RCM markings.
Yes. Savoir-faire. No, not again. Come on.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up here.
I'll get it next time.
Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained a muscle there. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what his pockets
All right, fine. I'll put a point into savoir-faire. Well, I guess we can go explore, see if I can find any other places I haven't been to. So maybe we could find the Wild Pines rep.
with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Oh, wow.
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Yeah, this is the police.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. Try again. You didn't press it.
Press again.
Thank you for calling the 24-hour window company. This is an automated message. Are you experiencing a window-related emergency? During non-business hours, please call 007
Non-business hours.
477-651. The streets
Thought it was a 24-hour window company.
There for you.
That's only half true. The streets are mean, but they're not there for you.
Do we have an emergency?
No, not a window-related one.
12 name cards on the call box read. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything. You can almost hear them breathe.
Hello?
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly. Wait, but what happened to Slipstream SCA? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list.
Yeah, I've come to place an order.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
She must be mistaking you for someone else. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it.
Here I am again, calling back into your life.
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
I'm just going through a tough time.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Forget about what?
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Hello?
She doesn't answer.
Are you still there?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
What just happened?
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either.
Ah!
I should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
Yep.
Silence. No one answers your call. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Alright. That was fun.
This Post Lavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Yeah, good job, Mail.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Yep, I've been there.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Broken window? Tibbs has windows.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onak written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian Church. A star, a great moral height to be strived towards. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution to ruining a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity. Lonesome.
Oh, there we go.
Long way home.
The thought is complete.
Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Interesting. Cop of the Apocalypse. No one is saying you're an actual superstar. Oh, I have to unlock a new slot? Oh, spend a skill point. Interesting. Okay. Well, so I'm spending the skill point in Salvo Fair, of course, but
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager yet.
We should take care of that then.
I don't got money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
If only I had a bag. Well, I did help this guy out with his romance issues, so... Was he in here before? It's all about money.
Can I help you?
About that money.
Yes. Have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Yeah, let Kim say
I
something.
understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Oh, something in the motor carriage? Okay.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent. The door does not budge. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable.
Four shiny
Four shiny
hubcaps.
hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
So something about a pawn shop?
Yes, there's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's called Roy's Nest or something. If I'm not mistaken, it should be...
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Seems good to me. Alright, so to the south? Fingerless gloves. So what do the current gloves I have on do for me? Interfacing. Oh. I see. I see. Oh, so what is...
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hjelmdal burning. The antlers
That's pretty
on
cool.
the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes are familiar.
Sniff it.
Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to buy.
It's the man from Hjelmdal.
Walking away from his burning village. Yes.
So I guess I'm supposed to know who that is.
Huh? Oh, I see. That's tough, man. I feel the same way sometimes. The man from Hjelmdal is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla. In fact, most people don't think that man from Hjelmdal ever really existed. But they are wrong.
Hjelmdal isn't a real place.
Neither is the man a real man, of course. But both the man and Hjelmdal are an ontological necessity. But hey, it's not worth getting into an argument about.
Wow. What?
What did you mean he was real?
I mean, even if the man from Hjelmdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
Okay.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hjelmdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there.
It's for the best, because Hjelmdal is not a real place, and thus he could not have gone there. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity.
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
Can you just give it to me for free then?
But why?
Well, he's a superstar. I'm a superstar.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and take it. Welcome to Hjelmdal.
Perfect.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
If you had any trouble?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
I may have something to add to it.
Keeps me entertained.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard, he's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
I probably did loads of Paralodon.
I've had to take it. You know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Must have been tough.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could. No one's. Everyone's. A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance. A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud, years getting sick. The cleanup happened 15 years ago.
Yeah, I was wondering about that myself. Gamma radiation lines crossed the drop of blood.
Aunt died.
Which narration voice? I mean, clearly Sabo Fair.
Junk in it.
Or, I mean, I guess that's a really a factor voice, rather. When you say narration voice, you're talking about the ones that aren't, I guess, characteristics of the character, or elements of the character. Is it the badge, the Chernobyl volunteer? I don't know. Was not aware that Chernobyl volunteers had a badge.
So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear power meltdown.
Interesting.
I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. Still in the same city.
Well, yeah, that's it.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
You want to share some?
You said you'd done it before, yeah?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved. He won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Tried it once, liked it.
Here you go, man. Of course.
You happen to have any guns?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a
Oh
couple
no!
days back.
I pawned my gun? Oh god.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh god. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
I mean, she must be a fan of mine.
In that case, she'll be happy to get a visit from us, if we can find her.
Do you know where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from.
She does want my autograph, that's right.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course.
So you might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Can't say I'm a huge admirer of Wild Pines, and I can't say I trust any
Diego.
silver-tongued spokesperson of theirs. Fortunately,
Diego's
I have
here.
no reason to get involved.
Oh, is he gonna lay down in his bed? Come on, buddy, do it. Oh, wait a second, Let's get the... Let's see if we can move the camera. No. Yeah, there he is. Wait. I'm in the way. Diego! Alright, is he gonna sit down or what? Come on, do it! Do it! Yes! Alright, cool. Good job, Diego. Alright. I don't know if Diego's doing autographs right now. It's an excellent question, though. He had a hard weekend of being down at the beach. It's not easy for him.
What should I have for it? No, just people like that make everyone else see the world somewhat askew, at an angle that is convenient for them. Now, you have more questions, or are we? He's been by the shop a couple of times.
There was something awfully deliberate about that laziness.
Did he discuss? Did he buy anything?
He purchased a remarkably garish paperweight the first time he was here. Nothing. He tried. Wanted to come to some mutually beneficial agreement around my dealings with the dock workers. I politely declined to. hear him out.
So you don't know what kind of arrangements he was talking about?
As I said, I refused to talk to him. That's why he came back a second time. That's also why he hasn't come back a third. They weren't the most pleasant interactions. Small town bigwigs always want everyone to play a part in the play they're staging. But I bowed out at some point. I prefer to watch from afar while the bigwigs come and go.
He nods reluctantly. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop. Gone forever.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you. Here's the 100 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
Alright. Kim kept some for himself.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I have a fascinating... No.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Shift card. Nah.
Another time, perhaps.
Alright, let's go take care of this bill. It is interesting to me that Wild Arms 3 is in the lead. I guess Wild Arms 3 kind of has the best multiplier of the games on this poll. I wouldn't be surprised if Twilight Princess wins this, though. People love their Zelda games. Nothing wrong with that. Until Wednesday, 7:15. Low on morale? Just quit then. Just quit. Just stop gaming.
Can I help you? Yes.
I got your money. Choke on it.
Great, perfect. I hope you enjoy your freezing cold room with the window you broke yourself. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Starting tomorrow, please pay for each night in advance. 20 real per night. If you don't have the money, it's over for you. Got it? You've got nowhere else to stay.
I'll take a room here too.
Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
I'll leave. Okay, so well, we gotta figure out, I guess, a free place to stay. Well, so is the idea here am I supposed to sleep? Is that kind of curious now what this actually means, what the mechanics of sleeping are in this game. Is this now his room?
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
End of day debrief. Okay. The cycle matters. Days matter.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
Didn't know you smoked.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How did you get to be so cool?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, we are told.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. Then you shot the body down, which was the shot.
You know, I am a sharpshooting cop.
We still have to perform the autopsy, though. However, we did a thorough search of the crime scene. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
They love bathing in my glory.
I hope your confidence will translate into results, officer. We weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that tomorrow. Above all, though, today was exhausting.
What's with all the running?
Runabout. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I don't know why I do the things I do.
Alright, and forgive me, this has been bothering me since this morning. How have you managed to run around all day wearing only one shoe?
I couldn't find my other shoe, dog.
Imagine how much faster you could run wearing a cool patent leather shoe on each foot. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station coldly. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
I probably have.
Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence.
You ever kill anyone?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event.
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couvron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. The coalition government and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Rebachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralinton leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Or if they think you do.
Yeah, what's the Moralinton?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations.
What? Do they believe in anything?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen. Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've done an awful job.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Make our own law?
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. Two glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often.
Yeah, Diego. Well, Diego came upstairs and he just like I don't know. He laid down on his bed and just needed to, you know. He was just concerned. All right, it's difficult. Life is difficult. Diego deals with a lot, you know.
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
We're not gonna change anything here.
Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
New skill point. Oh, I guess that means I can unlock a thought to have a thought. All right, what do I want to think about? Superstar, economics. Ooh, Cop of the Apocalypse. I like Apocalypse.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
Hell yeah.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Well, an eventful first day of
And
investigation.
then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep doesn't come.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow?
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease.
Check the blanket?
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh. Oh, that's me.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I was born in a hospital.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember
Harry?
shit. Tell me, do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth? Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left, while you just stood there with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't know if I want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
Oh, ooh, well, we got a title drop.
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up. No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking, and the act is wearing thin too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back
You're
from
not
this.
coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm gonna solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts.
Oh no, am I having DTs?
New type of hangover. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy.
What was it? Yeah, I had the most beautiful dream.
Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
I feel great, thank you.
That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part.
What's speed?
Maybe some speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect. Ready to
the limbic system is definitely not a supportive friend. That's for sure.
Of course. Martinez is speed central. You just gotta poke around. Follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time, it will be different.
Do I? Okay. Find Speed. You know what? We should start off the day properly. How do I put it in my hand. Can I like use something in my hand, or do I have to have it out? Oh, here we go.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens. Light reflects off the green glass of the Commodore Red. The gods have been generous. Better pop it open before they change their minds. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. There's a satisfying pop as the cork jumps out, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home now.
So, what will be the repercussions?
Nothing. Some
mental stuff.
Nothing to be worried about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox. The golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with
task
sunshine.
complete.
Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey mess. So does your mind. All the bad things are melting. You're you again. A real cop. A real detective. Incredibly well done. From the void we came, and to the void we must return.
So does that mean I now have a bottle in my hand? Is it still... Uses left. Okay. Interesting. Oh, and that's right. I have Pyrrolidon, too. Well... we'll deal with that when we have to deal with that. Alright, we gotta go.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray. Light it up and smoke the living shit out of it.
Am I a smoker?
Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously.
She broke it at the filter.
How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all.
I'll think about it.
Good. Thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth is the next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time, though. It doesn't count if it's not all the time. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
Oh wait, what is that my other shoe? It's my other shoe. It was here all along.
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminate.
Yeah, electrochemistry is maybe not your best friend.
Reunited on your feet. Like two baby crocodiles.
These don't look like normal cop shoes.
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Do I have any good friends? A fine question. I got a lot of tasks for today. Smoke some cigarettes, do some speed, you know.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels.
There's a lack of magnesium?
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
I need to mag it sideways?
Mag it sideways? What are you talking about? You need to mag it up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to ascend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem. And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine, nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system.
Huh, alright. Alright, well, we don't have Kim with us. We gotta go get the boots. Oh no, Kim. What do you...
Morning.
Fine.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them.
Why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager.
Are you saying you wouldn't do massive amounts of speed, Icy?
One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
All right.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
I just want to know more while we're at this place.
Yes, extremely normal. I'm not a gardener, by the way. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What are you gonna do to me?
What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate.
Yeah, maybe don't threaten me.
It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one. Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on the police? We let you off easy, miss. Don't think it will happen again.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Yeah, what are the Union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job.
Oh no, Diego just farted.
Get out of Martinez.
Oh boy.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Autosave.
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
It's not time yet.
Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. standard working boots, size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet. Across at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43. Gang tattoos, Mesk or Sarah Mauritian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46. The big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44. 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
The odd soul.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
All right, where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Oh?
She?
Mm-hmm.
So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
Mm-hmm.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so, too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
So what's up with the container belt?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yeah.
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
Yeah, you're just killing people for nothing.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed.
All right.
This man had to die.
Why'd you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
He was a mercenary, huh?
And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Wait, how do you know he was in Special Forces?
Cause one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNA's goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
All right. I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay. But, like, besides crimes against karaoke.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling.
So who called the shots?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
It's the 8th Hardy Boy.
Titus, no one was thinking
That there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. Fuck no! The big dick is right here, asshole. You're looking at it. Right. Fucking here.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comments on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all.
So when did it happen?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus.
Mm-hmm.
Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Cannot be retried. How did you manage to overpower him?
Numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
This one has a distinct style. He puts so much whiny emotion into everything he says, it's hard to see if he's lying. But he could be. Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But...
So who's cracking?
No. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat
Wow.
he is.
Wow, Shanky.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
And fuck you too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. No.
Like what, Copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Let's just talk.
Wise move.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials.
Alright, well, that was interesting. All right. What is stuff that we're okay? We're working on a thought. I actually don't know if I can talk to Angus separately right now. Oh, you know what? I should do. Well, okay, I'll check on that thing. But I should, now that I previously upgraded Solid Fairness, I want to try doing the jump again. Yeah, I can only interact with Titus. Well, and Elizabeth.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
What is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Muindi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Let's get in there.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes? Yes, you see, the field autopsy form is the one on red copier paper.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initial...
I mean, I arrived at the scene first.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone. 10:15. It's understated.
Good. Let's go with that. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Muindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky!
Thanks.
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with
I mean,
Mark
look,
4.
kids gonna be kids,
15.
alright?
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
HDB 41 0803.1015. Listens, motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was...
Oh, the new one is better? See, that's funny. I definitely had some people in here before who kind of liked the older one better. That the older one is a little more raw. I don't know if I necessarily have a
Your central nervous
preference.
system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then,
we should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings.
Oh,
A
okay.
thicket of boxes
I could see
on red
that.
copy of paper tries to answer why. The fish lips stay silent in response. You must...
I told you, he is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build. Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than
Yeah, when am I going to get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Omit the boots.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Stroke the hair.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil. More hair sticks to the glove. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape. For a fraction of a second you feel something. An irregularity. But then it's gone. Too minute to register in your mind. What was what? Brilliantine. There's brilliantine in his hair.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest.
You have a question?
Consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Look for a good spot.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now. Like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact. Genitalia...
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Yeah, so there are guide resources for my summer car. I wasn't certain what the what material was out there. Also, is my summer car a game I'm just gonna buy off of Steam or something? I wasn't sure if I assume Steam is probably the way to do that. Yeah, I mean, typically my thing is that I'll go blind at first, and then if I'm not having fun, like here's my biggest concern is that I'm gonna find the carness of it to be very off-putting. You know, like that's the thing that I feel like is a wild card for me with the game is, will I have fun with the chaotic elements? Will failure be fun, right? Like I think that's kind of the interesting question for me. If you want to know, I can finish writing that for you. I think we'll probably just roll blind, at least initially, when we get to my summer car. And, if it seems like something like a middle ground to maybe provide a little more structure would be helpful, maybe then I would want it. Because I imagine to some extent my lack of familiarity of things could be funny. It's a much bigger open world thing now. Oh, okay. So I know I've definitely seen like Cesar and Maka talk about the game, and it's the things that I've seen have been like car specific things, but I know there have been some other things as well, like in terms of like where people show up and stuff like that. So there are open world or things that we would associate with open world things in them.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item. Hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it.
If I may add, the moral of this story.
What would that be?
It's tires. No. You start the stock tires garage. Sometimes going to a secret location You already do the wow. Secret tires.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth, not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living.
Okay.
You feel like you're about
Interesting.
To
So
throw
there's
up
also like utility
straight
for
in
it.
That mouth of his.
And that's something. Is that something? It's like a fan made thing or what? You respawn in your. I mean, that's a good place to respawn. Oh, but none of the vehicles are moved to the house. Oh.
It's hard.
Oh.
Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness. Silence as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts. Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expertise on either one.
Neither am I. Same for toxicology and serology, and cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Yep, this'll do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fills. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
So was he already dead?
Why do you say that?
I don't think it was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
How'd it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional.
Pursuit's a pretty good song.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
I thought we decided to leave it to press it.
Okay.
This is turning. Okay. So you can sneak out of your room, maybe. After he's gone to sleep.
Felt the bump on the head. Alright, let's try and get this.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh. First with your fingertips. It's right under the palm of your hand.
It's been a while, so I don't know if I remember quite exactly what it is. Actually, it's because I think I played Trials and Tribulations. I want to say in like 2012, 2011. So it's been a hot minute.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything, they are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. You're not far. It'll come to you. Keep crawling. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Oh. That's fun. Blows up into A1 Pursuit. Okay.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're
after. Abrasion collar. Abrasion collar?
Abrasion collar.
Kuno is silent. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again, never wake. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly, cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice-cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
All right, 97. Let's go. Easy.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just... The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove, sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Yeah, I know. I mean, as it turns out, it was, you know, it was an Ace Attorney moment written in blood, in brain matter.
Fucking beautiful.
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-calibre rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. Of course, you deserve it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
You think so?
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers?
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it does not explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks
Who
of
would do
tricky.
such a thing?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
Oh man, I probably need to wash.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling and Rise should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
All right. Well, we don't want him to take the body away yet because we need to try and steal the boots tonight. So let's hold off on that. That'll be for tomorrow. Also, speaking of ending things, it is about time for me to wrap things up for the stream. I need to finish up. I need to finish up the Machinations edit. I'm already mostly done that anyway. But thanks for hanging out, folks. This game is very chill, very relaxed. So happy for folks who want to share that. Archie, Magi. I know iDoc was here earlier. Of course, had to bow out